everybody, my name is Jigglypants. Today we're playing some Minecraft on the Eureka SMP server. This is going to be my first episode I've ever made on the server and also my first YouTube video ever made. So hopefully you guys enjoy and let's get into it. So this server that I'm playing on has been running for about 10 or 11 months, I'm not quite sure since its last wipe. I started about a month after that, so quite some time I've spent on this server. And to just kind of get you guys up to speed with stuff, I'm going to do a little bit of a build tour, show off so far what I have accomplished. So we're going to start that here in my storage room. So this is a multi-item sorter system with bulk storage, and it's also got shulker box overflow that I haven't had to use yet because it's not filled up quite yet. So over on this wall here, I just have like my bulk items, my netherrack, cobble, deep slate. I don't have much deep slate there, but like gravel and sand, all your common things you get a whole bunch of. And then along these walls here is the actual multi-item sorting. So for example, the spruce wood column, all items that are spruce wood that get put into the system, they'll get funneled through and they'll end up in this column of chests here. So you can see like spruce signs, trapdoors, spruce logs, all that kind of stuff. Same with wood, like all the other types of woods, like oak and like jungle here, for example. And then down here I have like my iron, my coal, my jeez, somebody just died. But like my iron, coal, gold, stuff like that. All the way down along into all the different chests, and then over here is my input. So if I put a whole bunch of different items, just randomly chuck them into this chest here, like that, if I just throw a whole bunch of items in, they will work their way up and run across a hopper line that will check to see if take out any of the bulk items, and then this light here will turn on. And then if we stand here and wait for a second, it should start sorting. Here we go. So this light here comes on and we can see it is sorting in sticks into the wood miscellaneous chest here. And I'll just show you guys kind of the behind the scenes a bit. So back over here is kind of like, I guess, the back rooms of my storage system. It's very messy. It's just some random stuff. I got a mending villager right there, your iron golem. Just a bunch of random stuff put back here. But this is basically acts as my kind of maintenance room for my storage system, because I have had it break down a couple of times. Because this thing all has to be chunk loaded. But like I was saying earlier, the items go up there, they flow across this hopper line, they flow up through this system here, and then they go across in over these bulk storage modules, which is just a single item sorter that most people have already seen. And then they make their way across over to this chest here, which is all the items that I threw in slowly getting filtered into here. And we have this hopper minecart that right now it's doing glass. We'll see it goes down, it sucks up more items that are there, it goes through, drops off kind of like a space holder item there, goes across, and it checks back here. These chests are all of the this is kind of how you set the filter for each one of the columns of chests. Just kind of give you guys an idea. So it goes and it checks and sees if that item matches any of these. If it does, it'll open up that filter so that when an item comes across, it comes across this top hopper line and it'll flow down in. And if it doesn't match any of the ones on this side, it will move over to this chest over here, and it does the same thing. And if it doesn't fit any of these ones, right now I just have it going into just an overflow chest. So these are items that I haven't sorted yet. I gotta go through every once in a while and I gotta update the system for all that stuff. So that's the basics of my storage system. It's a little complicated, but it works for the most part. I have had some troubles with uh, chunk loaders on the server because just by the nature of them, sometimes they bug out and they lose some minecarts here and there, but for the most part it's been pretty good. So over here, this is actually my sound system for my storage room. I always like to just kind of relax when I'm sorting through items, getting stuff for projects and stuff. So this plays a loop of all the, well, not all of the, but some of the Minecraft songs that I have discs for. This is my first YouTube video, so I don't know if I'm going to get the audio completely right. So you guys may or may not be able to hear this playing, but it just hooks up through my door, so every time I enter my storage system it turns it on, and then every time I leave it shuts it off. So now that all the boring redstone's out of the way, I'm going to go up and actually show you some of the builds so far that I've been working on. So to leave my storage system, it's I got a slime block launcher here. It just shoots me out into this cave area. So to get to my actual build here, yeah, I got a big castle going on here, kind of like a settlement, kind of Tudor style framed houses with the fantasy roofs, pointy and swooshy, and big cliffs going on, big mushrooms. I kind of was thinking like a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory kind of Play-Doh-y kind of landscape is what I wanted to go for. Just because I like the bright greens of the moss and the bushiness and the big mushrooms. And so I'll kind of go around and I'll give you guys maybe a close-up view of some of the builds. I'll try and do them in order of what I built, apart from my storage system. But here is my portal. I'll hop into free cam here so you guys get better angles and stuff. Here's my portal. It's just kind of like got a little bit of the Shrek-inspired stump house to it. That's what I was kind of thinking about when I was building this. The nice roots kind of hanging off, the mushrooms dotted around, and first I'm working with this gradient I got going on with the tough andesite up into smooth stone. A lot of texturing with like the walls and some slabs and stuff built in there. Really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun building this. Down here is just a sheep farm that I got for each of the wolves. Nothing too crazy going on down there. And then around the back leaves a little bit to be desired, but you can't make everything perfect, and nobody really sees back there that much, so I think it's good so far. So the second build that I actually did on this server was this main house. It was quite the challenge to build because it was very early on. I didn't have feather falling or anything. I remember falling off the roof many times and dying while I was building it. But it's kind of got that Tudor style kind of framing to it, that swooshed roof to kind of give that fantasy with the two big towers in the background. And the bridge there and the hanging sign. Thought it really looked nice. The little pops of red, the windows, the rose bushes there kind of tie in with the pops of red around the landscape of the mushrooms. And yeah, if you notice, the roofs on all of the buildings actually are all this same same crimson wood with the purple terracotta to kind of give the build a theme that runs throughout it. I thought that was very nice. And then moving on to the second build that I did was this waterfall water wheel. I thought you always see water wheels where they're sticking with the wheels sticking out the side, running like along a river or whatever. And I wanted to try something different, kind of as you're coming out of the portal, maybe as like a wow factor. The first build you see, basically. So I wanted to try something different with the mill here, and so I flipped it vertically, and I stuck it on the waterfall there. It's got the more of a uniform curved roof, but I still think it looks pretty good. Same Tudor style as well. And after that, I built this house here. Basically, underneath I have a moss farm, so I needed something to cover that up a little bit. So I built this kind of little house with the, again, I like these, like the side sign kind of hanging off the side there, the chains hanging. I can't remember exactly where I saw that, but I think it adds, it's kind of like, hey, maybe this is a shop and we're selling something here, so there's a big sign or whatever. And then the next build I did was this windmill. Out of all of my builds so far on this server, this one's maybe my least favorite. I don't know, I can't really put my finger on it, but I think it's just because of how much white and how little amount of framing there is in it. But it's still got that kind of pointy, drooping kind of roof on it. It really looks good. Like this bit of the build I like here. Maybe not so much here. I don't really know. So then moving on, if we come over here to this side, I built this house. It's kind of my first time using the packed mud and the mud bricks and everything. I mixed it in with some brown mushroom blocks to kind of make a chimney on the side. I thought that looked really good. Try something new. And then same with the hanging signs. Kind of as a railing up top there. I've got, oh, one of my horses escaped, but I'll have to hook him back up later. But here we kind of have like a little horse garage with I went for a mangrove roof here. I'm still not sure if I 100% like it, but it adds maybe a little bit more of a pop of color, kind of contrasting with the yellow of the hay bales there. And the same style of swooping roofs with the same color palette throughout all the builds. And now we're going to go on a little bit of a stroll to get up onto here, so I can show you some more. So just up over here through this path beside my portal, through this kind of cave entrance, I kind of went for like a kind of like mine shafty feel with the supports, some barrels dotted around with lanterns, just kind of make it feel like it's a rickety cave. I am planning to put maybe some water above this so you get the dripping particles every once in a while, just to give it more ambiance as you move through it. And then we move up along this path that hugs the cliff wall, past that build I just showed you here. And we get up into kind of the farming area. Here with just a little wheat field going on and some horse stables along in there, some storage up above, a barn here in the background, same Tudor style kind of going on. I just, no interior on this, most of my builds, if any of them. I just kind of put black wool in the windows or whatever to kind of give that effect that it's dark inside. And then over here, just kind of like a little forge. I was thinking maybe they're making some horseshoes for the horses in the stable here. And then just on this path over here, I have a greenhouse with an assortment of all the different plants in the game. Well, most of the plants in the game. Even like a watermelon with some vines hanging on it. Down below, I got the nether stuff over here. Assortment of beets, wheat, carrots, potatoes up in here. not really functional at all, just kind of for aesthetics. And yeah. And then obviously a lot of custom trees throughout and big cliff faces that I think later on in the episode we're going to work on maybe this area here with some trees. Hopefully maybe try and time lapse that, see how that goes. And then this path just kind of wraps up around and then ends there. Kind of have it marked out with some of this magenta wool here, of just kind of a rough idea of where the path's going to go and how it's all going to connect. So now I'm going to get to probably what you guys have seen in the background and are all waiting for to see is this massive castle. I don't really like calling it a castle because I guess it is with the stone bricks and everything, but I picture it more of kind of like an outpost settlement kind of counselor's building or something like that. So here on the side we've got this kind of fantasy floating ship with the exaggerated pointy front. I'm not a sailor, so I don't know the correct nautical terms, so bear with me here. But just the exaggerated shape of it, kind of like the thruster on the back to kind of symbolize the ship. I thought maybe it was like a trading ship, or maybe if like a counselor or something need to go to a special meeting, they would hop in this and take off for the day and come back. And we just got like a kind of like a dock for it here. I want to add maybe some chains or something, maybe like an anchor, some anchor points to kind of hold it in, make it seem more tied in with the build, because right now it's just kind of floating off in space. Got these cool sloped roofs here connecting up into this big dome structure. Yeah, I am playing on a server and they like to joke around sometimes, so I'll try and blur the chat just for privacy reasons of the other players, but yeah. So then down here I got maybe like a smaller dome, the bridge that stretches across, and here's kind of like a cathedral type building, and yeah, up over here I got maybe like a telescope looking off to the distance, even though it's looking off into nothing. You can imagine maybe it's looking at a far off planet or galaxy or something. For the most part, I think that's all the major builds of my base so far. I'm really liking the direction of it and the feel from the ground here as you run around. The nice bright grass, the nice bright colors, pops of red, the blue. Really enjoying it so far. Kind of foresty, whimsical feel I got going on. And I think now I'm going to go up here and I'm gonna start working on some more trees. I want to hopefully connect up this patch of trees to that patch of trees over there. So hopefully the next segment is a time-lapse video of me doing that, if I can figure that out. So I'll see you guys when I'm done. So here's the new view of the main house here with all the trees in the background. I'm liking it a lot. It's starting to feel a little bit more finished back in there. And yeah, I think it looks good. There's a lot of trees to put in. I think it was about 25 trees I put in. And yeah, took some time. I think it was about 2 hours straight to place of blocks for trees. But here's what it looks like on the path here. There's a couple big spots. Like here, I couldn't really fit a tree into, so I think I'm just gonna put some bushes, maybe some vines climbing up the cliff there or something. And yeah, I think maybe between episodes here, I'll start working on this path and get this all sorted. But this video is getting kind of long now, going around doing a little bit of a build tour and now building a whole bunch of trees. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.